Record. And we are recording. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here for the first ever Love Activism 101 workshop to activate our hearts. That's what we're here to do. We are going to go through a lot of material, and I would just like to introduce myself. If you don't know me yet, I am Sarah Love, and I got that name given to me by friends and people that started calling me that, and started out on my artistic journey as a way to bring love. The art part of my life and career came after the feeling and the nature of my heart wanting to express a lot of inspiration for you. That was really the impetus of becoming an artist. I didn't really see that as a path as a young person. It wasn't something I had a burning desire to do because I didn't know it was even possible. I didn't really see that in my world as a viable path. And so it never occurred to me to go to art school or to really dedicate myself to art. But what was my burning passion and still is bringing love and hope and inspiration to humans, and to vision a future that is more loving for all. So the art became the vehicle because these feelings were building and percolating and growing so much inside of me that it came out in the form of colors and words and a lot of other fun things. So that's the short story of how I became Sarah Love, and making a little calendar for the last 15 years has been the mainstay of that expression. This little calendar was just a thought in my mind to make a little holiday gift for friends. It was something that I did the first year, 2004, and went and printed it at Kinko's, made 50 copies, and gave them to friends and family for the holidays. And that was truly just something that I wanted to, again, just be expressed and to bring something handmade and something that could uplift my community and these little daily nuggets. And then year after year, it's grown and people seem to love it, and I love it. And it is like my own teacher and my own ritual for staying in the love vibration. So we're going to talk a lot about that daily practice, and a little bit more about how that came to be. But the reason that love activism is my mission, and what we're talking about today, is because I see a spectrum, right, of humanity, and between the people that are putting their lives on the line for justice and the people that are creating and committing heinous acts against other people, between those two ends, there's us. And there's a lot of us. There's a whole lot of us. And we truly are the ones that we've been waiting for. We truly are the ones that have the power to create a future that's more loving for all, to heal inside of ourselves and create an atmosphere inside of our lives, within our own bodies and homes, that is more loving for ourselves and our relationships. And we have the power to create a ripple that will in turn be the future, basically, because you and I both know that our thoughts and our words and our actions are all something. They're all something. They have impacts. And so if we can focus and harness and be in practice of love, then we are actually changing the frequency. We are changing the moment. We are changing the future. We are changing even the past. And that is what I believe. And that is what keeps me hopeful, because I think that as far as humanity goes, we haven't even tapped in to the potential of what's right here, of our hearts. And there is so much science to back up the power of our hearts. So if you have heard about heart math, Google it. There's amazing books and a ton of information out there, but heart math is the study of the heart being similar to the brain as far as its functions. It's not just a muscle that pumps blood and keeps our circulation going. It is actually full of really innate wisdom. And so I see one potential solution to a lot of problems that we're facing right now is just bringing this online, just truly turning up the volume of what this power is, what the heart is capable of, what is the potential of when a bunch of hearts are activated in a loving space. I really don't think we've tapped into the potential of that yet. So that gives me hope for the future, because our culture right now, and for a long time now, is either all here in the mental logic and reason, ego, all the stuff, or it's in the lower chakras, right? Moving our lives from a very primal space. So what's in the middle of those two things is this whole zone where we can really start to practice, we can build stronger muscles, and it just starts out with the littlest things. So that's the exciting part. And like I said, there are so many of us that are in the middle that take action on a lot of things, that don't know how to respond to a lot of things, that just simply see that things aren't working, that things aren't. Why are they like this? Why are they like this? Why are we playing this out? And if we can harness our own individual power that then bleeds into the collective and amplifies more loving frequency, a more loving space, and take action, then we are in ourselves feeling more on purpose, more complete, less despondent, less despair, less hopelessness. And so that is my goal today, to bring you like the 2 decades of my own journey of being on this self-love, plus holding up the banner of love in the world, and distilling it all down for you so that we can get somewhat of some juicy nuggets to really put this in action. Activate, activism, all of that. And I love that today is August 1st. And on this little baby calendar, it says, infuse this moment with love. And that is the message for today. And there is no coincidence. We are going to infuse this moment and this moment with love, because in this moment is the power. In this moment is where we actually have all the potential, where we have all the opportunities to change our thoughts, to make new choices on how we are acting, putting things in motion in our lives, to do the healing. That happens in this moment. So thank you for spending this moment with me. Thank you for being alive. I really want to start out with a big infusion of gratitude for you. So if you could put your hand on your heart, one of my very favorite practices, put your hand on your heart right now. Take a deep breath. Let out a nice sigh. Just let anything go that's gotcha, feeling tense or not fully present. Just, I love a good sigh. So healing. Take another big deep breath and say thank you to yourself for showing up, just for being here, for watching this, for being curious about what it means to activate love, to be a love activist in the world. Just thank you. Say it again and again and again. And you can say thank you to yourself for anything and everything that comes to mind. Thank you for getting through the day. Thank you for, doing the best that you can do. And after you've said thank you a few times and you feel that gratitude just percolating and starting to fill up your heart and your chest and your lungs, take another deep breath. and say, I love you to yourself. This is one of my most favorite, most potent, and easiest practices ever. Say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. When you say that to yourself and you really notice any things that are coming up, any, voices, anything that wants to dismiss it or shut it down, or there may be tears. But when you say that over and over again, you are actually making a deposit in the well of love, and it will shift things. It will become a stronger, more vibrant muscle the more that you give it that energy. So just say, I love you, I love you, I love you, as many times a day as you can think about it. And extra points, if you go to the restroom, wash your hands, look in your eyeballs in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself. And teach this to the kids. Teach this anywhere that you are, that it is the most, like I said, simple but profound practice that will actually start rewiring the energy in your body. Because the truth for a lot of us is that most of our lives we have been craving love. Most of our lives we have not received the love either in the way that we needed it, or at all in some cases, or in other cases, the opposite of love, criticism, abuse, all of those things. And those things sink in and become a story, become a loop of something that really is hard to penetrate a lot of times. But what we then do is we go out in the world and we manipulate ourselves and contort ourselves into some version that we think is going to get us some love and some acknowledgement and some appreciation, some recognition out there from someone in intimate or out just in the world. So when you start the practice of giving some love to yourself, it actually completely changes that dance, that subconscious. This is a lot of times it's not even conscious, but the way that we go out and live our lives in manipulating other people to give us love. And so when you heap it on as much as you can to yourself, not only is it an incredibly rebellious act against capitalism and patriarchy and all the other things, because self-love is pretty much counter to you buying stuff that you don't need, or you feeling awful about yourself and therefore remaining powerless and remaining in a state of fear and anxiety and depression. So it's not a cure-all for everything, but it is one of these most simplest, profound things that anyone can do at any moment of time without spending a dime, without a prop or any other modality or any other dogma to sign up for. Just put your hand on your heart and say, I love you. And if you're not in a space that putting your hand on your heart is appropriate, just say it to yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. Say it when you think you've messed up. You think you've done something wrong. You said the wrong thing. You went home from a gathering and you're repeating the thing that you said to the person and how silly that was. And oh my gosh, say, I love you. Stop yourself when those wheels fall in that rut to start to criticize and make you feel crappy inside, because we don't need anybody else to do it. We're doing it all the time. If you can stop yourself and say, I love you, you're not making up for, you're not justifying anything. You're not, talking your way out of, well, it was okay, and stroking your ego, anything. You're just saying, I love you to yourself. You're just giving yourself some love. And that is it. And that is profound. And that is hugely healing. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you start to think, oh God, my jeans are too tight, and what happened to me, and whatever your story is, just say, I love you. See if you can stop. See if you can catch yourself. It's radical. So that is the absolute first and number one tip. And if there's anything else that happens on this webinar that inspires you, great. But if you take that and you go with that, that is going to make a huge shift in your life, because naturally other things, your unique essence will start to have room. Because once some of the criticism and self-loathing actually goes away, you will be able to come out and play and be expressed in the world. And that is what this is about. I have to say that I don't have all the answers. I am not the thing itself. I am not going to tell you how to be and this is what's going to happen and do these things and then follow me and I will tell you all the things. And that is not my jam. My jam is to point you to yourself. My jam is to just at least clean off the windshield of your heart so that you can be alive, so that the flower of your heart can blossom, because what the world needs now is your unique, amazing essence. Here's what I have to tell you. You being alive changes the world. You took your first breath on the day that you were born, hallelujah, and you changed the world when you showed up. Your first breath that you took, however many years ago, changed the world, because your presence is unlike anything that has ever been. Your absolute life, just your life, you being alive, not doing anything, is a miracle. Throughout all time and space, there is no one that is you. Millions of years, millions. You are the only you that you will ever be. So this is about being done with comparisons, being done with the criticism that keeps you stuck, the old stories that are pretty much BS, that came from other sources that were not serving your best interest at all. So I just want you to know that you're a freaking rock star. You're amazing. And I'm so grateful that you're alive. So that is the foundation of all the things that we're going to talk about today, is that you are alive. You are amazing. We are alive at this time. We are alive right now, 2019. And whew, this is a time. This is a revolutionary time. This is a time that could be extremely pivotal. And I know that you're feeling it. So thank you for your interest in activating the love. Okay. So I've got so many notes here. So I had to start with that. I hope you felt it right in your heart. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Okay. I have to share this quote with you from Jane Goodall that basically expresses everything that I just tried to say in a whole lot of words. Oh, Jane Goodall. You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. So what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. I love that quote because it is so true that everything already you are doing is making a difference, is making some kind of impact in the world around you, in yourself, in your relationships, everything. So what is it that you actually want to do? Being intentional about this time that we have, being alive and awake for this is what it's really about right now. And I want to make an impact of love. That has been my story. That has been my north, my true north. And because what I see, another amazing quote that, of course, you probably know by the genius Audre Lorde, the master, man, I didn't write this down because I think I have it in my brain, but the master's tools will not be, the master's house will not be dismantled by the master's tools. Excuse me if I misquoted that, but you know the power of that quote. And I have to say that love is not one of the master's tools, right? So this is a tool. It is a power. It is a force. It is natural. It is also a completely renewable resource. We have the power to turn it on every single day. So there is no lack. There is no running out. It's our natural state. So that is the exciting part. Okay. So I want to back up a little bit and give you a little bit more of my background, because I really have to share that this whole journey started with me realizing how much I hated myself, just to put it mildly, as a teenager. Just really realizing, I don't remember if there was a specific moment in time or if it was just, you know, a buildup of things, but I remember feeling super impressionable, super insecure, super just very much susceptible to peer pressure and all kinds of things, because I had no center in myself. I was a sponge for whoever I thought I wanted approval from, and I would do things and dress up in costumes and all of that stuff that you do until I realized this is not how I want to live. So this whole movement, the I Stand for Love movement that I'll talk about in a little bit, came from me realizing I need to work on myself. I need to work on the self-love inside of me. And I need to come at this with a whole different perspective of life, because it's not going to get any easier. I definitely realized at a young age that I didn't want to play the game in our society of aging and hating myself, of my weight going up and down and hating myself. I realized, whoa, no, I don't have time for this, you know, and it's so pervasive. It is so inside of us for so many generations, plus the consistent advertising that perpetuates it, that it is a life's work to love yourself. So in the love activism realm, there's basically the two sides of the coin. There is the inside job. There is the internal warrior that's going on, that is looking to root out the self-loathing and self-hatred and become someone that has a self-love, at least pocket somewhere, or hopefully a well or a foundation built where you can actually know inside of yourself that you're okay and you're worthy of love and you're unique and there's no comparison. And then the other side is the outer. So we're going to talk about that. So let's talk about the inner, because that is where it all happens. Everything is happening simultaneously. Obviously, I don't think there's any end to self-love journey. I don't think there's any moment. I mean, there may have been a few moments in my life where I think, oh yeah, I'm there. I'm good. And then the next day, no. All the stories are up, the insecurities, something happens, you know, some conversation derails me or takes me somewhere, and I am down in a pit of I suck and I'm unworthy. And so it is a journey, but the great thing is that those moments last not very long because of the practice, because of the work. So in the inner, I actually have many resources online. I have a whole packet, the 10 steps to turning your self-loathing into self-love gold. And I'm going to put a whole resource packet together for you. For anybody that's here, there will be an email sending out with all kinds of resources for you to do the inner work and then all kinds of other things. So let's talk about the inner, because this is where the origin of love in your heart is going to come from. So we're talking about self-talk. Okay. So self-love is a feeling, is a thing, is, you know, all the things, but it happens when we realize, when we acknowledge and notice the things that we're saying to ourselves. And when you listen in, when you actually have some sort of the wherewithal to observe your thoughts and to listen to what you're actually telling yourself on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, it is mind-blowing to hear. Because number one, most of us would never talk to another person the way that we talk to ourselves, ever. Because it's mean. Because it is mean, the things that we say. And if you said that out loud to another person, to your child or a friend, oh my gosh, it would be cutting. But when you hear the voice inside of your own head, it is wild that we put up with that. It is wild that that's what we think is life. So paying attention to your self-talk is so important, and just checking in with yourself. So, hey, you notice that you're saying some really mean stuff? Cool. Just notice it. Just notice it. The last thing on the love vibration that you could do that would be in alignment with being self-loving is to be angry and mad at yourself for the mean thoughts in your head. Because then you're going on a totally predictable and familiar spiral of now blaming and shaming yourself for not loving yourself, for saying those things. How could you say those things? So if you just notice it, observe it. So it's about being present, right? Infusing this moment with love. And not going down the path of more self-hatred, criticism, and other negative stuff. Just notice it and go, wow, okay. Whew, okay, hey, I love you. If all you can remember to do is say, I love you, then in those moments, you're winning. Because you're not trying to talk yourself out of it. You're not trying to come up with some elaborate story. You're not blaming yourself for the thoughts. You're just saying, hey, I love you. It's amazing. So I also want to talk about the inner being a practice. Practice. Like I said, there's no end. There's no end to when you're like, I'm good. I mean, it gets so much easier though. So the daily practice. I am a huge cheerleader, creator of daily morsels. So this has been my teacher. So I make this for 15 years now. Every day I write and hand draw a little message on the I Stand for Love calendar. And it started out as my, holiday gift to my friends, but it really is for me too. I need these little things. I need these reminders, because what has happened is repetition. We have been programmed over and over every day with negative thoughts, with a lot of pretty wild, how do I want to say it, psychological damage. And we have to repeat the loving thoughts. We have to repeat the messages of hope and inspiration. We have to come at it from all the angles. Sometimes we got to sneak in there. Sometimes we've got to get on the megaphone and blast it. Other times we're trying to find the side door, It's like a lot of this I do is because I want to ninja my way in. I want to pick the lock on your heart and open the door and then start really amplifying the love. But first, I just want to sneak in. And so these cute little daily things, they're powerful. They're potent. And if you can think about it during the day, you look at it in the morning, you think about it maybe a little bit, you get the daily email. If you don't get the daily email yet, there's a whole other writing, like a paragraph of what it is and how to do it that comes free. It's all free. And, and then the night, maybe check it again and just think about it. And a lot of these are similar, like they're saying a similar message, but in a couple different words. And again, it's that way to like trick ourselves, because some days it may just bounce off and be like, ugh. Other days it may really hit you. That's what happens to me. And of course, these are aligned, and I do astrology and all kinds of magic. So sometimes the days when they hit are just synchronistic and mind-blowing. But they're always going to offer you something. They're always for you to be uplifted. That is the whole point. And for me, to be uplifted. And the repetition, the daily practice. What makes you feel good? You're the one. You're the only one that can say what makes you feel good. What takes you out of a place of feeling hopeless or powerless into a place of goodness. Is it putting on your favorite song? Sometimes music is a huge one for me. Music. I love music. I love to dance. I love live music. And I know that if I haven't heard a good song or went to some music and months and months go by, I know that I start to feel a little weird. Like if you're a gardener and you don't put your hands in the dirt for years, you're gonna feel so amazing when you put your hands in the dirt. It's like something in your soul feels better. And so you need to identify those things for you. What are they? They're yours. So start to notice. You can even keep a little notepad. If you want to be really working on it, you can keep a little notepad and take note in your day. When did I feel good? When did I feel grateful? When did I feel a little bit of joy, maybe? When did I feel comforted? What comforts me? These are all really powerful things to know about yourself. What is fun? What is loving? What is comfortable when you feel, one of my teachers, Jennifer Posada, says, it's not about never breaking down and bawling on the bathroom floor. This self-love and this, being in a loving space. We're going to have all that. But if you've built up a muscle for self-love and you know you're about to break down on the bathroom floor, maybe you grab a pillow on your way. And you're still heaving and weeping, but you're a little bit more comfortable because you're worthy. You know of yourself that you're worthy of that comfort and that comforting of yourself. So it's about those little moments of choosing how you can be a little more loving to yourself and the things that you say, the things that you do. It's just that. It's just that. So the other thing that I truly and highly recommend in every way is resources. What makes you feel comforted, and how can you move from the inner work into a space of getting help? Is it, like I said, dance? Maybe it's therapy. Maybe it's body work. Maybe it's dinners and potlucks and inviting people into your home. Maybe it's saying yes to invitations to things that other people call you and want you there, and you sometimes don't go because of the way you're feeling. What is it? Do you have a circle of people? Do you have healing in your circle? And a lot of this I know is also speaking to privilege, right? So if you can get a monthly massage, prioritize that. That is epic, amazing stuff that can propel your self-love journey, move things out of your body. And if you can't, there are ways and resources that you can be with people and it not cost money. Potlucks are one of my favorite things, to just eat together, to just share meals. We are wired for connection. We are wired for village life. That is what we've been doing for a million years. We have been living together. In the last very short amount of time, we have separated ourselves and isolated ourselves on a mass level, and that is not going well for us. That is not going so good in the mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. It has not been a great experiment. So if you can get with people, and I have one tip, my friend Lacey said to me, hang around givers. A lot of us, if we're givers, we can tend to attract receivers, say takers in our lives, because we're so abundant. We're so nurturing and we just want to love everybody. And on the inside, it's actually a manipulative thing sometimes that we're trying to get love from other people, and we're over giving, and we're being, we can go into martyrdom and all that stuff. So hang around givers. Notice in your life who is a giver and prioritize hanging out with them, because then you're going to be given a lot to each other. And that is really, really cool. Okay, so notice and listening. Tell yourself I love you. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the inner self-love, love activism. That is the battlefield of your inner landscape. But you know there's tons of resources. And go to istandforlove.com, and there's free downloads and the daily email and the self-love. I'll put the self-love packet into an email for you, because this is all huge, huge work, and it heals our ancestors in the process. It heals our future generations as well. So it's not for nothing. And it's not selfish. It is not a waste of time. It is important. You are important. And you loving yourself actually does so much good in the world. Because then you can do other things, and besides thinking about your cellulite. I mean, we got shit to do, excuse me. But if we're all just wrapped up in our own self-loathing, then guess what? Guess who's winning? The people with the power right now are winning when we don't have the power inside, when we are wrapped up and in our own spiral. So it's liberation, it's rebellion, it is revolutionary to love yourself. Boom. So if you don't want to do it solely for yourself, then do it in service of the whole. Do it in service of the revolution. Okay? Love yourself. Okay, now let's talk about the outer. Okay, the outer. Woo! So you know that there's a manifesto to this I Stand for Love business. There's this printable manifesto that's free. You can download this. It just prints out on your printer, hang it up in your workplace, hang it up in your house, wherever. There's little baby wallet size manifestos. Grab these at istandforlove.com. And then there's the postcard. There's 3 sizes, because this is important stuff. Postcards, send them out. Again, put it up on your mirror, whatever you want to do. But this manifesto came through in 2013, I think. So in 2012, another backstory. So this calendar used to be called Life is Beautiful and So Are You. My business used to be called Sarah Love Creations. And that wasn't feeling as powerful as I wanted it to be, because it wasn't about me. It was about uplifting humanity was really the mission. So one day in 2012, I woke up with the words I stand for love ringing in my head, really, like in the middle of the night. This is not my norm. Stuff that happens in the middle of the night when I'm falling asleep. I'm lazy. Typically, I will fall back to sleep, or I will try to tell myself that I'm going to remember it in the morning, and I will not get up and write it down. I'll just go blah, blah, blah. I love my sleep. So it's really funny that this is like a story that's one of those like, oh, I woke up in the middle of the night with a lightning bolt of inspiration. But I just have to tell you, this was not my norm to actually get up. It was so loud. Oh, excuse me. Let me mute here. It was so loud that I had to get up, and I had to, there we go. I had to write it down. I stand for love. I stand for love. It was like these words, 4 words. And when I thought of it wasn't me. Like I wasn't thinking I, Sarah Love, stand for love, which is funny because obviously that's me. But I was thinking about it as a mantra. I was thinking about it as, what if everyone in the world could just say these 4 words? What if one day people woke up and they're like, I stand for love. That's what I stand for. I thought that would be a revolution in itself, right? So I stand for love, these 4 words. I went ahead, I changed everything. I changed my website, became I Stand for Love. I had this idea for, my husband and I got married on August 8th, 8/8. It's coming up. I want to make that I Stand for Love Day. So I declared August 8th is a day where we infuse everywhere we go, the internet, we bring love to every space. And so that happened in 2012. I told my neighbors about it. I woke up on August 8th and they had hung a heart in their front yard as a symbol of I stand for love and like bringing love on August 8th. And it changed my life to open my window and see that. So I knew that there was power in this simple thing, putting hearts on social media, saying loving things. Because what if, I've got a question for you. What if there was a day where we committed to thinking loving thoughts, to acting in a loving way, to being compassionate to everyone for 24 hours in ourselves, in our lives, speaking words of love? What would happen? What would happen if it was thousands of people on the same day? What would happen if we were wearing hearts and love on our clothing for one day? What would happen if we filled social media with goodness, with praise and appreciation for others, with hearts and beaming out and taking a stand for love, random acts of kindness? What if for 24 hours, like thousands of people did that? Hey, I believe in miracles. I believe in the power of the collective. So I just want to know what happens. Could we tip the scales? Could something happen? Because most of us can't do it for 1 hour, honestly. Honestly, even the best, like me working on myself for 20 years, loving myself, if I check myself for a 1 hour of only really diligently being compassionate to myself and others, whew, that's different than how the day usually goes. So what could happen if we sent this ripple effect? Could it affect the morphic field? Could it affect the consciousness? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I'm a wild visionary thinker, and I think that it could. I think that why not? So August 8th, you're going to get more information about that when I wrap up and send the email out, is I Stand for Love Day. So just this is like the time to do the action stuff, what I'm about to say about on the outside, all these things, how we activate the outer form of the love activism. If you want to really give it a try, August 8th is the day, okay? So the manifesto, take a stand. This is basically just declaring. So the manifesto came in 2013. Again, it was kind of like a lightning bolt. I just started writing down these steps. Of course, there's 8. Take a stand. Just say, hey, publicly to your friends on social media, whatever. Say, I stand for love. Hey, guess what? I'll tell you, having the name Sarah Love actually keeps me pretty accountable. And I do not have the luxury to go off on someone in a comment on Facebook and shred, criticism all over and, flex my ego places. And sometimes I have that desire, but I don't have that luxury because I'm Sarah Love. And guess what? I have declared that I stand for love. So guess what? When I think about wanting to rip into somebody on a Facebook comment, nope, not going to do it. I'm not going to bring that. I can't bring that to the space. I can't affect the space. Now, truth and love are together. Okay? So it's not about being nice. This is not about a fantasy love. This is not about rainbows and butterflies. All right? This is about the power of love and holding ourselves, setting the bar higher to where we don't act from our egos. We act from our hearts. Huge difference. Okay, so take a stand. Do your best. Self-explanatory. Every day is a little different, right? Don't be too hard on yourself. So do your best. We, again, compare ourselves to other people. We think there's some perfection that we're going to get to. No, do your best is do your best, okay? And then don't be too hard on yourself because, parentheses, it's not loving. It's not loving when you then go berate yourself, okay? So, number 4, it actually has 2 meanings. Try not to judge. Try not to, okay?
because don't judge is almost impossible. But if you're trying not to judge yourself and you try not to judge others, you are opening up a world of possibility. Okay, number 5, keep love in your heart. So, worst day ever, if you can come back at all and say, I love you to yourself, or do anything that is kind and compassionate for yourself, you are keeping love alive in your heart. That is it. Just keep a little flame burning, okay? Keep the possibility, because we've got to believe in a loving world. Believing in a loving world, for me, is about babies. It's about remembering that babies are loving. Like, all the stuff that comes after is programming, is information that we get from other humans. But when we come here and we are fresh, it's love. You held a baby. It's love. It's like a bundle of love. Even when the baby's crying and screaming, not happy, hungry, whatever, it's still love. Oh, so we got to believe in a loving world. I believe that there is a nugget of love inside everyone, and that gives me hope and the tenacity to keep going for it, you know? Okay, and then make love the deciding factor. Make love the deciding factor. This is huge because I want to talk about consumerism, for one. Make love the deciding factor is when you ask yourself, you have decisions all day long. You have decisions. What is the most loving choice? What is the most loving choice? Make love the deciding factor is to say to yourself, is it more loving to wear this outfit that is comfortable and makes me feel good, or more loving to wear this outfit that I thought was going to look good and is cute and tight, but I don't feel good in it? The more loving choice is to feel great inside of yourself and not try to put on some things that don't fit or feel good, right? That's a winner. The most loving choice when you're out shopping for your goods. You got to look at it. Where did this thing come from? Who made this thing? Probably someone that is not living in very good conditions. If this thing is made of some toxic ingredients or plastic, we're not making a very loving choice. Now, again, don't go shaming and blaming yourself. We all have a bunch of stuff. We all buy a bunch of stuff. But I'm a huge believer in the boycott, my friends. As love activists, we have to boycott the things that we don't agree with. We have to get more diligent about saying no, because your dollar is an agreement that you make. And your dollar is saying, yep, I believe in this. I support this. Have my money. Live long and prosper. Here's my money. And when we boycott companies that are really, truly doing major amounts of harm, some things even causing wars, devastating people in other countries and in our own countries, when we can say no to that, that is activism. That is activism in itself, to say, you're not getting my money. I will tell you, on one hand, the amount of times that I've been into a Walmart in my life. And that's because I was a hippie at a really early age, and I decided from a youngster that I wasn't going to play a lot of different games. And one of them was big box stores, because I don't need anything from there that I can't find typically in my community. Now, like I said, I can count on one hand, because there's been a few times where I have gone either for a price of something that I wanted that was cheaper, or that I was traveling in some place. And it's, again, talking a little bit about privilege, because if you shop at Walmart and that's the store where you can afford, and that's the place that in your town, because other places have probably gone out of business since Walmart came to town, cool. This is not about shame or blame, but just think about your dollars. As a love activist, please think about your dollars. Amazon, right? The gas station, oh my gosh, I fill up my car and at least I'm thinking about it. I'm still driving an old car that runs on gas. Yep, that's right. And every single time I drive or go to the gas station, I am aware of my complacency in the system that oppresses and destroys this earth. I'm aware of it, and I want to cry thinking about it. And I want to be a part of the solution, and I'm part of the problem. So it is also just about being aware, okay? There's a lot I can say. So social media, you got to be responsible. This love activism is no joke, and say what's on your heart, okay? But if you can not be defensive when you see what other people are saying or doing, and also just speak from a place of here instead of hurt, ego, defensive, we're all in the same boat. We are basically all being lied to on social media and the news and all the places. We're being manipulated and lied to by advertising, the people in power, all the things, okay? So that's what we have in common. If you think that you have a friend, a coworker, a family member that voted differently than you, and you disrespect that person because you think that they are stupid or whatever judgment you have, and then they think you're stupid because of the way you voted, guess what? We're all in the same boat. Where is the bridge? Where are we gonna come together and build a better future? We're not. If all we're doing is judging each other, going off on each other, you're stupid, blah, 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 not loving. Love activism is hard because we are wired a lot of times to make judgments, right? So anyway, make love the deciding factor is what I was saying. And then love yourself. So we could start with this could be number one, and we could go the other way, of course, too, because love yourself. This is the key. Treat yourself like a person that is worthy of love, and a cool person that has great, interesting gifts and an interesting look and viewpoints and a perspective and experiences, because that's who you are. You're a really interesting person made of stardust and earth and love and cool stuff that we don't even understand yet. So treat yourself with love and kindness, and so many other things will follow from there. So the other thing that we can do in the outer is basically moment to moment, infuse this moment with love. How just acknowledge and realize how you affect the space, and you can choose to bring love to any space that you show up in. And that is how we do it. That is how we affect and create the ripple. You can create a space within you and around you that has a loving vibration, that is safe for people, that is you have boundaries, people obviously not abusing you or being toxic, to you. Definitely that is about self-love. And holding yourself to the, setting that bar higher to where when you show up at work, when you show up at your family, when you are home, when you are at the grocery store, you're bringing some love. You don't even have to do anything or say anything. But if you are in your car, you pull up to the grocery store, you're in your car, you're feeling stressed, there was a lot of traffic, whatever, put your hand on your heart and say, I love you. Take a breath. It takes 5 seconds. I love you. I love you. I love you. You go into that grocery store, you're calm. One of the best things that we can bring right now to the world is calm, peace in your heart. When everybody's around you is anxious and in a hurry, and you're calm, wow, that affects the space. That affects the room that you're in. It's incredible. These things are not huge. This is not about doing a double backflip. This is about the little things that we are responsible for the space. We are responsible for this earth. We are responsible for this time that we're living in. And so it's time to take that responsibility, turn up the knob of the volume of love in your heart, and affect the world, affect the space, so that you show up in a space And maybe there's nothing that you do. You're not fixing anything. You're not saving anyone. You are just emanating a calm vibe with some love in your heart. That is revolutionary right now in 2019, because it is not the norm. When you're in traffic, say you're in traffic, gridlock, people are raw, there's horns. Yeah, we have such a tendency to just get swept up in whatever energy is around. And what about this? What if you're in gridlock traffic, you put on a tune, you put on like a good song that you like, turn it up just a little bit, and maybe you start doing one of these to one of your favorite songs. And guess what? The person next to you, because you're in gridlock, looks over at you in the car and you're rocking. Guess what they're gonna do? They're probably gonna smile. They're probably gonna laugh at you. And you just changed the world. You just diffused the tension from gridlock traffic, super aggravated, into a moment of you broke it up. You showed up. You brought some love. So it is the little things. Little things. Okay, I'm going to check all the questions now. Put on my glasses so I can read. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're all here. Yes, 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 thank you. I love being a fire starter. I'm an Aries, so I want to start the fire all the time. Yes, we have so much we've tapped into so much good stuff. Thank you, thank you. I've had many epiphanies in my life. Thank you for asking. And oh man, someday I'm going to document it, but it's really the small little increments that have actually made the most difference. The epiphanies come, and I love epiphanies. It's like, oh my gosh, I see completely different now than I did 10 minutes ago. I love that. A lot of them have come through music, honestly. But those sometimes fade. And the little daily things add up. So, oh yes, calendar equals daily rejuvenation. I love that. Rejuvenate. Yes. Yes, yes, we are wired for connections. That is right. Yep, we need to take a stand in love. I am a love rebel. I love to rebel. Thank you. Thank you for the love on here. Okay, any other questions? Hit me. We are going to wrap up soon. I'm so grateful that you have hung out with me. You have been curious about what all this is. There's a few other downloads. I've got this printable poster. I love for this to be in classrooms if you are a teacher or know a teacher. All of these things I will send you to put up for the kids. All of these things. This is just a fun one. This is also on a postcard. Show love, grow love. That's it. We show the love and the love grows, and there's all these different ways, from make eye contact, right? Learn how to play, forgive your ancestors. These are huge. And smile at yourself in the mirror. I mean, we think it's super hard, and there's no accident that, the message is like, it's too hard to change the world, but it's not. We have got to just apply ourselves. We have got to just take a stand and hold ourselves to a certain quality, to where we can know when this time is up, when my time is up, I want to know that I showed up with the love. And whatever's going to happen, hopefully we are not going to drive this earthly existence to the freaking brink and over the edge. I really hope that we don't have to take it that far, but we've already gone too far. And the love activists need to step it up. That is my thought. And again, it's a tricky one, because I'm not shaming or blaming for anything you have or haven't done. Any laziness, apathy that I've had, it is all part of life. And if today, tomorrow, I can pump it up just a little bit, I can be at the grocery store and I can look around and I can really look and make eye contact with people and say, hey, we're here. And I don't know what opportunity might come my way. Is there going to be an opportunity to stand up and in the name of someone that's being mistreated? Is there going to be an opportunity to give a hug to someone that needs one, or I need one? I don't know. But if I'm awake and I'm committed to love, then things can happen every day, every moment. So, okay, to wrap this all up, remember that between the activists that are putting their lives on the line for the future of the world, for justice, for climate, for humanity, for everything, between those amazing humans and the humans that are committing heinous acts against humanity, there is us. And if we stand up and if we do a little bit every single day and we dedicate ourselves and say, I stand for love, okay? I stand for love and I am going to direct my life in the direction of that stand, then we can make these changes. We can affect the space. And when we come together and there's more of us, then we're amplifying that. And I believe that, I'm gonna leave you with this hopeful note, because I really see infinite possibilities. I really see that there is a potential that tomorrow, someone, hundreds of people, could wake up tomorrow, just like you and I. We were in some consciousness level where maybe we hated ourselves and we're mad at everybody all the time. And now we're in a different place than that. I believe that everybody has the potential to wake up tomorrow, have something in their life, have an epiphany, have something happen that wakes them up. And they can wake up tomorrow and go, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this organization that is destroying the earth. I don't want to be a part of this movement that is separating people. Oh my gosh. So I have hope. I don't hold people in one place. They have the freedom to change. And I believe that they can change. And I believe that we can all wake up. So that is the hope. Tomorrow, more people are going to have a moment in their lives where they think, oh, yeah, I don't need to buy this crappy thing. I just need to go and give myself some love. So that is the game I'm playing. That's the activism. I am the type of activist I am is I'm an infiltrator. I want to infiltrate the masses, the organizations, the public school system. I want to get these little nuggets of daily love in every little eyeball that I can and see what can happen. So I'm going to send you an email with these downloadable things. I'm going to, and if you're watching this video later, then you will have to sign up at I Stand for Love to get the email, to get these things. But go do it. Your life will be better for it, I promise. And out of all the information and emails you could get, I'm going to bring you some love. I can guarantee that, okay? I know we all get a ton of emails. Not most of them are inspiring and loving. So sign up for that. And the calendars change lives, period. So 2020 calendar is on sale now. Go grab a 10-pack. If you want to support what I'm doing, that's the best way, because the ripple effect, then you go give these calendars out to 10 people in your life. Oh my God, you just changed your community. You just changed your workplace. You just changed your family when you give these calendars as gifts, seriously. So grab them now. That really helps the wheels turning. You can also go to patreon.com, I Stand for Love /I Stand for Love, Patreon. It's awesome community. You can become a part of my community there, which really supports me and the love vibration to keep going. So just love yourself. And anything that I can do, please reach out. I'm on Instagram at I Stand for Love. On Facebook at I Stand for Love. And just let's connect. Let's build this web. Let's strengthen the web. And then on I Stand for Love Day, August 8th, put your hearts on. put your hearts on and bring the love to social media, okay? Thank you so much for the comments. I love you. Thank you for getting your calendars. You're awesome. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the time and energy and the fact that you would even consider love activism as something in your life. It is what I believe could change the world. Okay? Because we're not getting it. We're not getting the solutions up here in our brains. But I think there's some uncharted territory that we can tap into and create the future. I want a future that's more loving. I want children to be safe. I want children to know what it's like to have joy, that they don't have to worry. So that may seem far-fetched, but I don't care. I'm going to hold that vision until the day I die, because that's the future that I want for the kids. I want them to live in a world that is loving, and that is up to me, and that is up to us to create daily. All right? Woo! Thank you so much for being a part of this first ever, probably not the last, Love Activism broadcast. I'm so grateful for you. I love you. I will see you online. Look for the August 8th. Look for all the things coming at you in the email. Yes, here's to loving ourselves and sharing it with the world. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Mwah! I'll see you soon. Bye. Yay.